Good afternoon, everyone, and to Dr. Rosita Di Bagsit, and also to my classmates in this subject, Philo and Psychosocial Foundation of Education. My assigned topic is all about Francisco Benitez. So, Francisco Benitez is one of the country's foremost educators. Was born in Pagsanhan, Laguna on June 4, 1887 to Don Higinio Benitez and Soledad Francia. He had four brothers, Seferino, Chofilo, Conrado, and Eulogio, and a sister, Antonia. His brother Conrado was an economist, historian, and a business leader, while Eulogio was a congressman of Laguna and the first to use English in the sessions of the Philippine House of Representatives. In 1904, he started his educational career as a principal in one of the schools in Paque, Laguna. In 1905, he was sent to United States as a government pensionado, graduated 3 years later from the Western Illinois State Normal School. Back in the Philippines, he was appointed assistant supervising teacher in Bacoor, Cavite. In July 1, 1918, the UP Board of Regents passed a resolution transforming the School of Education into College of Education, and he was appointed as dean and thus started his strong influence on education. In 1935, Quezon appointed a committee called the Quezon Educational Survey Committee to study and recommend changes in the educational system. Dean Benitez was appointed chairman of the subcommittee on teaching training. August 13, 1945, President Sergio Osmeña revived the National Council Education and made Dean Benitez as the chairman of this council. He was a staunch champion of teachers, a writer, and editor. He believed that education could make the country stable and progressive, and that every Filipino child should have the right to education in order to develop his potentials to the fullest. He advocates the development of the spirit of nationalism, particularly in the youth, the development of internationalism and of the national language, and having the idea of teaching social studies exclusively for Filipino teachers. According to Francisco Benitez, what is an educated Filipino? An educated Filipino must possess three characteristics. First is the power to do, second is to support himself and contribute to the wealth of our people, and third, acquaintance with the world's progress, especially with that of his race, people, and the community. An educated Filipino is one who is deep rooted in one's speech and conduct. One must put into practice those elements recognized as concomitant to culture and morality. One makes use of such elements for one's growth as an individual and for a nation's development as a whole. What is an educated Filipino concept of education? It gives rise to a new concept of education, which is deemed as the training of an individual for the duties and privileges of a citizen, not only for his own happiness and efficiency, but also for contribution to the nation, to the national sphere at large. What is an educated man? According to him, an educated man should possess and be considered educated unless he is prepared and ready to take an active and useful part in the work, life, and progress of our country, as well as in the progress of the world. So these are the Filipino traits and characteristics. First is hospitality. So we as Filipinos, this is one of the most popular qualities of being a Filipino. Then respect. Respect, this is often observed not just by younger people, but also by people of all ages. Then strong family ties and religions. Strong family ties can be seen also in politics. Like nowadays, in politics, nepotism is rampant. Even though they always say that characteristics speaks louder than family ties, but vice versa ang nahitabo. Okay, even if you were not really that qualified, as long as you have your you have uncles, aunties, or relatives in the government, then you can have the job if it's not really fit for you. So that's the one of the examples of close family ties. Then generosity and helpfulness. So Filipinos are generous people. Strong work ethics, and last is love and caring. So what is an educated person? An educated person is one who has undergone a process of learning that results in enhanced mental capability to function effectively in familiar and novel situations in personal and intellectual life. So that's all, and thank you.